Hello, my name is Jim. Welcome to my booktube channel about books, reading and stuff. This is a little late, but this will be my March TBR video. TBR, these are the books I intend to read in the month of March. I know March has already started. Comment. In February I finished 4 books. It was a bit of a disappointing month. The books weren't too inspiring. I did enjoy Mistborn, but I'm hoping March brings better reading joy. First on my list is Little Dorrit. I've been reading this since September. It's now March, it's 6 months. I'm reading this at like a more Dickensian pace. The original Little Dorrit would have been sent out in instalments, 19 monthly instalments of 3 or 4 chapters at a time. So I'm doing well for that pacing. That would have taken 19 months to read it if I was one of the original readers. Little Dorrit there's lots of plots and subplots in this. The beginning is set around Marshalsea Prison, which was a prison for debtors. Little Dorrit's father was a debtor and he was in prison, and Little Dorrit was also in prison, being his daughter and looking after him. Charles Dickens knew about debtors' prisons. His own father was in a debtors' prison, and Charles was sent out to work as a young boy in a blacking factory, something which he hated. There's also a satire on the Circumlocution Office and the machinations of Parliament. Some of the satire about the Circumlocution Office is very Kafkaesque. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm on page 582 of 778, so less than 200 pages to go. NetGalley, I'm reading Lost Worlds and Mythological Kingdoms. I was intrigued by the cover, which has this hand pointing to the sea with "Here be dragons." It's a collection of short stories, about 20 or so short stories about fantasy worlds, science fiction worlds. It's an odd mix, like with any anthology by different authors. Some of the stories I really like, some of the stories I won't like or I don't like. I've read a quarter of it so far. My favourite story so far has been Carrie Vaughan's The Voyage of the Brenya, which is like a mythological tale about someone going out in a curragh from Ireland and trying to sail west to find out why the gods have abandoned them, because the little village in Ireland is continually being attacked by raiders. And it's a very interesting and fabulous tale. Third on my list is The Last Mona Lisa by Jonathan Santofler. This is about Vincent Perugia, who stole the Mona Lisa in 1911, and the tale is also about his great-grandson who has found his journal and is looking into the mystery of the theft of the Mona Lisa. I'm a quarter of the way through it, and there's been some inaccuracies which are a bit jarring. Like, it talks about he's hiding the canvas under his coat, and the Mona Lisa wasn't painted on canvas, it was painted on wood. And also, when the Mona Lisa was stolen, it wasn't the most famous painting in the world. It was the infamy it got from being stolen that elevated it to this height that it is today of the most famous painting in the world. So there's a few things that don't jar with what I know about the Mona Lisa, but it's an interesting story, and it's got a very Dan Brown vibe, not just because of Da Vinci being in the title, but there's a thriller and it's set in Florence and there's an American involved. It has that Dan Brown vibe, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's very easy to read, very short chapters, the pacing is good, and I'll let you know about it when I finish it. Then I have Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I've seen this book a lot on booktube. A lot of booktube has been raving about it. It's got a beautiful cover. From what I gather, it's a fantasy set in a kind of pre-Columbian America, so that will be interesting. Then I have Homo Deus by Yuval Noah Harari. I read Sapiens and really enjoyed it. Homo Deus looks into the future and what we might expect in the future. So again, this looks very interesting. Then with Little Dorrit I might have learnt my lesson, but I bought Bleak House for this month. There is a read-along organised on Goodreads by Bionic Gene of the Dickensian Society or something about Bleak House. I was hoping to finish Little Dorrit so I could have gone along with the read-along, but it's going to take me a while to get through Little Dorrit. But then I look forward to reading Bleak House. And the final book is a very small one, a very thin volume. It's Giorgio Vasari's Leonardo da Vinci. It's actually 3 painters in here, it's not just Leonardo da Vinci, there's also Fra Filippo Lippi and Sandro Botticelli. Giorgio Vasari lived in the 16th century, so he could have talked to some of the contemporaries of these Renaissance painters. Personally, with the Renaissance painters, I prefer Michelangelo to Da Vinci. Da Vinci strikes me as being a bit lazy. He spent a lot of time thinking and not working, and a lot of his works were unfinished. And I saw an exhibition of his drawings in Paris, and he drew an awful lot of war machines, which I wasn't too happy to see. I will let you know what I make of this. So that was my TBR for March. If you've read any of these books, you can let me know what you thought of them in the comments. And if you like this video, you can like and subscribe as usual. And I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.